Hey guys, how's it going? Alex, the Yacht Guy here. So today is the day. It's actually my birthday, so thank you for all the birthday wishes from all of you guys. And what we're gonna do today is answer the questions you guys asked. You know, a lot of guys want to find out what I do, how I do it, what's my favorite yacht, yada yada yada. And so today's the day I'm going to try to answer as many of these questions as I can. I think there's over 50 of them, which is really cool. If we can get these going more often, I'll probably do this once a week. So any questions you have in the future, just put them in the questions, you know, down below in the comments, and I'll try to get to them. So we're going to start off with the first guy. His name is The Fly Who's Passing By. And he's asking, is this your full-time job? If not, what do you do for a living, and how do you fit this channel into it? Love your videos. Thank you to The Fly Who's Passing By. So yes, this is my full-time job. I made this a full-time job back in 2014. Before that, I started the Instagram in 2010, and that was pretty cool. You know, it was something. It was what they call a vision board. You know, and so I was using Instagram as a vision board for myself. It grew into this thing. You know, started meeting people, and it became what it is today. So 2014, I decided my buddy Watch Anish. If you guys don't follow him, you should definitely be following him. And I'll never forget this. He was instrumental in pushing me to leave my 9 to 5 and become an influencer full time, you know. And I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it was possible to make money doing the influencer thing, but I gave it a shot, and now it is my full time job. You know, it's been really good. I'm not mega rich, but I live decently. You know what's that saying? It's not work if you love what you're doing, right? And I love what I do. You know, I mean, this is a dream job. So yes, this is my full-time job. Before this, I've done everything under the sun. You know, from washing dishes to my last job was driving tractor trailers. And believe it or not, when I first started driving tractor trailers, they told me once you start, you cannot stop ever. And I thought to myself, I'm like, that's bullcrap. You know, I mean, who the hell wants to do this for the rest of their life, right? So in 2014, I quit driving. And a year or two later, man, I would drive by tractor trailers, big trucks, and I missed being behind the wheel of a big rig. It's crazy. So even today, believe it or not, I will call a couple of old companies I work for and be like, hey, listen, you got anything going on today? Just so I can get behind the wheel. I just love being on the road. All of my best ideas come from me just driving around, you know, and yeah, so that's it. So that's that question to The Fly Who's Passing By. That was my job. This is how I started the channel, and thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. Okay, so moving on to our next question. First, I want to say hello to Oscape. No question, but a big hello. So hello back. And Jim Lay and Jalen Marikar both asked, do I own a yacht? Well, easy answer. They say the best yacht to own is a buddy's yacht, right? Which, for obvious reasons. No, I do not own a yacht. I own a 12-foot skiff. It's a fishing boat. Anybody want to go for a ride, let me know. I know some great lakes we can do some fishing on. But no yacht, not yet. That is the dream. That is how this all began. So it is still the goal to own a yacht. One day I'll make it there. Let's see. Maddie Zay, what's a good cheap yacht to live on? Geez, cheap. The word cheap and the word yacht do not go together. I'm sorry, Maddie, but there's no such thing. Boats are expensive. It's just a big hole you keep putting money into. I mean, it's like a house, you know, I mean, a house grows in equity. You know, you get a house, the property value goes up, and you can probably recoup some of that money in the future. A boat, it's like a fancy car, and it depreciates, unfortunately. You know, it's a rich man's game. It's a rich man's game. So a cheap yacht to live on, I would suggest a houseboat maybe. Those are pretty neat. I've seen a lot of people do some amazing things with those. I've also seen the narrow boats. If you don't know what a narrow boat is, check out the narrow boats. There's a YouTube channel called Silver Foxes, I think it is. Anyway, just Google, just in YouTube, look up narrow boats, and these things are really cool, and people have done some really cool stuff with them. So check those out if you're into just living on the water in general. I would love to take one of those for a spin, by the way. Let's see, moving on. Our next question comes from Whedon03. I have one question. What's your opinion about Larssen? Opinions are like body parts, you know. We all have them, you know. I think they're one of the greatest companies in the industry right now. You know, they're one of the tops. They build some of the largest yachts, the highest quality. I like to compare yachts brands to cars, right? So you have your Rolls Royce, you have your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, your Mercedes. You put them in whatever order you want to put them in based on what you like. And it's the same with yachts. You know, people are going to put the yachts in the order they feel more connected to. So some guy might be connected more to Fed ship, let's say, right? And he might say, well, I think Fed ship is number one. And another guy might say, I think Perini Navi is number one because they built the best sailing yachts, right? So, some other guy might say Larssen is the best, right? Because they build the biggest yachts, or they build the best quality. So it's all a matter of opinion. For me personally, there's so many great yacht builders out there. It's hard to say anybody's number one, you know, because these guys are playing at the top of their game. You know, nobody's gonna spend $150 million on a half-ass boat. You know, it's done poorly. You know, I'll give you $150 million if you get it almost right. These guys got to get it right. You know, people's lives are on the line. They're going out to sea, and they're spending big money to enjoy these big luxuries. So, my opinion about Larssen, to answer that question specifically, is one of the best of the best. So, there's that. German Matos, he asked, where can I see the price of yachts for sale in the last week? So I didn't know the answer to that, right? I'm not a broker, so there's things that I don't know and I just don't pay attention to. And that's one of those things, you know, where can someone find the price of a yacht? So what I did was I reached out to Bob Dennison of Dennison Super Yachts, and I asked him, and he said if anybody was looking to get the latest updates on boats, Boat International. So you can go to boatinternational.com. They have a listings page, which actually I've looked at for years. They've had it for a while, and it's really cool. You can check yachts by size, by price, by brand. They do a good job with that. So Boat International, check them out if you wanted to see the latest listings. Mostly things over 130 feet. If you wanted something smaller, you can go to like to the, what else did he say? He said here, Yacht World or YachtGo. Those companies both do the same thing, you know, with smaller yachts and stuff that's more accessible to people, the average person, you know, 50-foot yacht or 60 or 70, I don't know, something in that range. But yeah, so looking for a yacht, Boat International, YachtGo, Yacht World. Those are the three places to go. All right, so moving on. My next question comes from Dr. Carl. What's your favorite yacht size? I mean, do you like about 20-meter yachts, or do you like the really big ones like Tis or Dilbert, and why? All right, that's three questions. First off, what's your favorite yacht size? So I do prefer the really big ones, right? Tis, Dilbert, Eclipse, the really big yachts. I do love those. A. If you haven't seen A in person, man, that thing is just amazing. It definitely has a presence, and I'll tell you why I prefer the big ones. Space, right? Whenever I think of a yacht, I think of family and friends and us being out for a long time. And I got to tell you what, I don't know if I can stand anybody's face on a 100-foot yacht for 2 weeks in such close quarters. I mean, 100-foot, 150-foot yacht, 40 meters. It's a big boat. But for 2 weeks with 10 to 12 people on the same boat every day, day in and day out, you might get on each other's nerves. So I think of the really big yachts like Dilbert and Eclipse that gives everybody a little room to spread out. So those are definitely my favorite yachts. The downside of a really big yacht, you don't fit everywhere. One of my bucket list locations or destinations to go to when I own a yacht is going to be Newport, Rhode Island. Now, I've been to Newport, Rhode Island. It's down the block from where, it's not down the block, it's a couple hour drive. It's beautiful. Jamestown, you go over the bridge. Oh, if you haven't been to Rhode Island, if you have a yacht under 250 feet, you want to visit the Northeast in the summertime. It's just amazing up here. So 250-foot yacht will get you into Newport. Anything over, I think you might have some complications of getting in. With that said, it's the same thing in most marinas. You can't get in with a really big 500-foot yacht. Look at Eclipse. Wherever you see Eclipse or Here Comes the Sun, Rising Sun, it doesn't fit. It's always anchored outside. It doesn't fit in most ports. So that is the downside. Unless you go to Puerto Montenegro, where they have a marina that can hold yachts up to that size. But for the most part, most marinas cannot accommodate them, and it makes it difficult. So yeah. So that's that. 150s are great for getting everywhere. Really big ones are great for keeping family and friends out of your hair for long periods of time. So my next question is from Badri. How did you get into yachts? Well, it was a really, I don't know if it was a dark time in my life, but it was a point in my life where things were not going so great. And the human brain is amazing, if you're really cold, right, the brain will think of something, you'll start to imagine a coat, right? You'll imagine what you wish you had to keep you warm, right? If you were hungry, your brain would start to think of foods and the things you wish you could eat. So for me, I was in a point in my life where I was really financially stressed and things, just like I said, just things weren't going so great. I'm going to be doing a multi-series video thing about my life and how it all started and where the Yacht Guy came from, etc., etc. To get to your question, yeah, so I wasn't doing so great. I was looking for a place to go mentally, and I wanted an RV. And I said to myself, if I had an RV, I could, just get away. So to make a long story short, yachts was the go-to eventually. And I started using yachts and photos of yachts as a vision board to where I want to be, right? So every night I would picture myself away from where I was, you know, on a yacht somewhere in the Maldives, on a yacht somewhere in Monaco, on a yacht. So I'd close my eyes, and every single day, I'm talking about every day, morning, night, for over 11 years, you know, and to this day, to now, I still do it. And this was back in 1998. This is when it all started for me. And then it became, I mean, 98 went into 2010. 2010, Instagram came along. I started Instagram, and then it grew into this thing, a vision board that became a job. So that's how I got into it. Never worked. I've never been a broker. I've never been a maintenance person, a decky, a crew member, and nothing to do with yachts. I had no experience and still have no experience in yachting. And so that's that. So thank you, Badri, for your question. So my next question comes from Too Big For You. Can you do a video on the Ahmadiyya yacht? We could do a video on the Ahmadiyya yacht if we had access. I mean, we could do a video on just about any yacht, right? YouTube is super new to us. Not in the sense that we just learned that YouTube existed, but in the sense that we're just starting. We've only been, I think, 5 months in. And we've only shot a few yachts, trying to understand what you guys like, what works, what doesn't work. Obviously, the really big boats work the best. People want to see those over the smaller yachts. But we've got to try to find a happy medium, right? Because you're not going to get a super yacht every single day. That's just, it's just not going to happen. As for Ahmadiyya, for those of you who don't know what Ahmadiyya is, it's a 106.5 meter, 349.5 foot yacht, built by Larssen, designed by Espinoino. She is just stunning. If you haven't seen her, Google her. I think Taylor's about to put up some pictures for you as I'm speaking. And it was in front of us during the last Monaco yacht show. And we wanted to get on board to shoot, but we didn't want to commit ourselves to doing something we didn't know we had time to do. The same happened with Here Comes the Sun, right? So we were so focused on shooting TIS, we didn't manage our time to really shoot anything else. And Tis, she was a big girl. She took a lot of time. You know, you see the video, there were a couple of retakes. You know, we was like, all right, do that again, do that again. We had to do like a single room 4 or 5 times in some instances to get it right. Because I stuttered, which I still do, or I crashed into a mirror. And you guys might have had a little bit of a party. Oh, this doesn't go anywhere. I'm sorry. Or something, you know, it was something. But big boats take a lot of time to do, and we wanted to do it right. So if the opportunity ever came, we would do Ahmadiyya. Someone else asked if we could do Nirvana. Another person asked if we could do Sailing Yacht A. So these yachts are all super exclusive. Ahmadiyya. Flying Fox was another one people want to see the interior too. But getting on isn't always so easy, you know. You've got to be invited. Most of the time, you have to be invited, and connect with the right people. So, can we do it? Yes. Will we do it? Let's hope. 2020 has been tough for everybody right now. A lot of stuff has been canceled because of what's going on. But let's hope. Stay tuned. We do have some cool stuff for you guys, so definitely stay tuned. Is Ahmadiyya on the board? Maybe. We'll find out, right? Wish us luck. And you'll be the first to know if we do. So here's an interesting question by Yanis Meziani. Yanis Meziani. And he wants to know, I was always fascinated by big super yachts, and let's hope one day I'll own one. But I have a question that I also ask myself. How could I spend, let's say, 100 million on a yacht, or even more, when you could do so much to help with this money around the world, especially poor countries? And is it selfish? If you do so and buy the yacht that you probably max enjoy for 3 to 4 months, a year, when you can change thousands of lives. Thanks for your videos, amazing content. So I think that the point of the question is, how could you spend so much money on a yacht when so many people are suffering, right? And I see that all the time. I see people write stuff like that all the time. There's this guy bought $300 million yacht. Meanwhile, children in X country are starving. Yes, that's absolutely right. Could that 300 million go towards feeding other people? Absolutely, absolutely. But what you don't understand is a lot of these people are huge philanthropists, right? And I'm not saying all of them. I'm not going to say every single person who owns a yacht is a philanthropist, but a lot of them, especially when you get into the 150 million, 200 million, $300 million yachts. It's been my experience, right? They give a lot. They go into small, little, towns in let's say Africa or India, and they'll rebuild the whole town, or they'll go to a place and they'll make sure everybody in there gets the medical needs that they need, all on their dollar. And they'll spend millions and millions of dollars slowly spreading their wealth out. And but you don't see that. They're not bragging about it, right? They're doing it because it comes from the heart. It's something they do because they're not out to impress anybody. When you do something great like that, you do it because you want to do it, because it's the right thing to do, right? So for me, when I tell people, man, I would love to get to the point where I can own a 500-foot yacht, right? There's a lot more behind that. Would I love a 500-foot yacht to cruise around? Absolutely. But if I reach the goal, if I can achieve the financial stability to own a 500-foot yacht, imagine what I could do with that money for people less fortunate than me, right? And that's also something that goes in your mind. Can I get the yacht? Yes. But what else could I do with all that money? Can you imagine how many friends I could help? How many random people I can just walk up to on the street and say, hey, let me just buy you a car. Let me, this town in rural USA is struggling, let me go into that town and help these people out, build up some homes, do some stuff, and do good things with that money. So when you see these people with these big boats, don't always assume that they're not doing anything. Yes, they can do more with the money they spent on that boat, but they probably already have. You just don't know it. And most people are just judging them based on what they see. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't see. And so that's that. So thanks for the question, Yanis. I hope that helped. And if you do ever get to the point where you can own a $100 million yacht, I'm sure you do a lot with your money. Also, you've earned it. You've worked hard for that. I mean, you should be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and however you want, So, good luck. Thanks for the question, Yanis. Okay, so moving on. I had to put on a hat because my hair was starting to look crazy. I'm way overdue for a haircut. And as you know, everything's shut down. So no haircut for me. So I'm looking starting to look like Einstein. Anyway, moving on. AB asked if I could do a shoot on board sailing yacht A. I think I answered that along with Ahmadiyya. He asked a similar question, and it's the same thing. A, however, is super private. The owner is a man of the sea. He loves his boats, and but he also loves his privacy, which I guess I can respect that. I mean, I wouldn't let anybody in my house, right? You don't want people wandering around your house. So I suppose I could totally understand that. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. Taylor Chen says, hands up, fire canoe. I don't know what that means, Taylor. How does Wi-Fi work on yachts? and how much does it cost? Well, how much does it cost? I couldn't tell you. I imagine, like with anything, the amount of broadband you use is going to be what sets the cost of the price. You know, you get your internet at home, you have packages, and they'll charge you based on the package that you pick. So my guess is it works similar to that. Now, I've stayed on a few yachts, and if you're close to shore when we're docked or anchored, the Wi-Fi is pretty decent. You know, a lot of the times you can use your phone service. But when you're out to sea, yeah, it's not so great. However, there are yachts, some of the really big ones, like the one I mentioned previously, Amadea, and you see these massive domes. Crescent by Larssen was recently built. That one has some massive domes on it. A lot of those will be used to make sure that the owner gets some great Wi-Fi. I mean, if I had a yacht, I'd need some damn Wi-Fi, and you guys are gonna have to put a massive ball up on top so that I can get the streaming service that I need, or the Wi-Fi that I need. So yes, and but it's limited. It is very limited. But hey, Elon Musk is doing that Starlink thing now. I'm really curious to see how that plays out with the yachting industry, because that's going to be global and it'll cover the whole planet. Will it be available over the oceans? Will the service now over the ocean be as good as it is on land? That's going to be interesting. So Elon Musk, I'm looking forward to seeing your Starlink system in action. Best of luck to him. So moving on to our next question, as we are just rolling along here. All right, so here is a question that I was hoping someone would ask eventually. I didn't think it would come up this soon, but I was hoping someone would ask this. I've been talking to Taylor about creating a vlog or a video thing where we can really straighten out some disinformation that's out there. And this is probably number one of all hoaxes that's out there, right? And Batman Vlogs writes, History Supreme really exists? $4.8 billion? Ask the Yacht Guy. Well, let me tell you what. It was created by a guy called Stuart Hughes. And according to his website, it has a circa of 100,000 kilograms of solid gold and platinum. The boat is a little over, just under 100 feet, 30 meters. So 100,000 kilograms equates to 220,500 pounds. It's 110,000 tons on a 100-foot yacht. Doesn't exist, right? It took 3 years to complete. It doesn't say who built it, though, right? The website doesn't say who built it. If a yard builds a $3 billion yacht, you better believe the yard is going to want credit. There's no way someone's going to build this and say, well, we won't say anything, because this would be huge for their reputation, you know, on their resume. Like, yeah, we built that. Who wouldn't want to say, yeah, I'm the one that built that. We built the 110 foot, or 100 foot, 110,000 ton, whatever yacht that doesn't sink, made of gold. And it has a T-Rex, T-Rex bones, a genuine dinosaur bone shipped in. It says shaved in from Raptor T-Rex. It costs $3 billion. Everything's wrapped in gold and platinum and jewels and genuine dinosaur. It's a bunch of, it's bull. It's a crap. So if you see anybody posting it, and I know it's all over there, I'm telling you 100%. It's bogus. I actually even reached out to a couple of guys that I knew. Alex Clark, who I mentioned from Super Yachts, from Denison Super Yachts. And we talked about it last night. And he was cracking up. because so many different sites say so many different things. Now, in respect to the design of the guy who says he did it, really great marketing, right? Because his brand was out there. So that was genius. As far as marketing was, the guy's a genius. I hope it worked for him. He's selling some great iPhone covers and some really cool, really pretty stuff. I've seen some of his work on his iPhone stuff. Really great. The boat, not real. Great marketing ploy. So, History Suprema, baloney. And that's saying it nicely. And moving on. So, Emac DJ says, what yachts are you looking forward to touring? Oh, man. So many. I would love to do Octopus. Octopus would be great. I would love to do, I don't know which one, a Fed ship. A Fed ship would be really cool to do. We haven't done a Fed ship. I wanted to do Here Comes the Sun, but she had just sold. They were like in the middle of the deal, so I couldn't get on board. I wanted to do a nice tour of that. Let's see what else. Of course, I mean, I would love to do the super exclusive stuff like right? And some of those ones that nobody ever gets on. Ahmadiyya. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I love doing the bigger yachts. Those are really fun. I think the smaller ones are going to be fun too, but we're going to have to find a different way to do it, because we can walk a 100-foot yacht. We can go through in about 10 minutes, and it makes it hard to make it fun for you guys to be just in and out of a yacht in 10 minutes, you know. So we're going to find other ways to make them interesting, because we can get on those as well. So, next question. Our next question comes from Babu Khan. How do you get to where you are? Where do you plan to go from here? Give us the background, the details, the life story. Thanks. So, Babu Khan, to start off with your first question, how do I get to where I am? You know, it again goes back to doing what you love, right? If there's something you want to do, you need to follow the path that's going to lead you to doing what it is you want to do. You want to be a lumberjack, right? Then do lumberjack things. Do things lumberjacks do. Study lumberjacks. Read up on lumberjacks. Kind of axes they use. Whatever it is you like to do, you should make sure you're very passionate about it. My daughter, I'll give you a perfect example. My daughter, she had a passion for baking at like 10 years old. And at 10, she decided, Dad, I'm going to be a pastry chef. And I was like, kid's 10 years old, can't even change her underwear. It's telling me she's going to be a pastry chef. She stuck to it. Kid learned everything there was to know about baking, you know. Not that she knows everything, but she was every day looking at cake books, looking at cake magazines, trying recipes, baking in the house. By 16 years old, she was already selling cakes. People were knocking on the door, hey, can we hire your daughter to make us a cake, right? And decorating them, birthday cakes, 16. Her first semester in college, I remember this, the professor hired her to do his son's wedding cake. First semester in college. And so that goes to show anything you want to do, you just got to put the work in, you know. And for me, back in 2014, I gave up working as a truck driver, and I said, I'm going to put more work into what I want to do. And I did. I bought a ticket to Monaco, went to my first Monaco yacht show, 2014. And from there on, it's been going, it's been up and down, but I've stuck with it and made some really great relationships, you know, some beautiful people, and have gotten to be where I am today. So I'm very blessed. Where do I go from here? Well, build the YouTube channel, diversify my assets, you know, and try to build on something. Nothing lasts forever, you know. I mean, the Yacht Guy is great for now, but who's to say in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years that this all goes to hell in a handbasket and there is no more Yacht Guy. You know, I don't know. So diversify assets, try to grow wealth, and become wealthy enough that I can own a yacht one day. I mean, I want a 500-foot yacht, but I'd be happy with a nice 100-footer. Get me around the world. I mean, not around the world. Get me around the U.S. You know, where I need to go, and that would be fine for me. You know, I just want to be on the water. So background details, life story. We're gonna get into that. Like I said, we're doing a whole series where we'll talk about what it was like for me as a young kid, and then growing up, and then to doing what I do today. You know, so we're gonna get into that. So Babu Khan, thank you very much for the question, and we're gonna move on to the next one. So Lens asks, what are you planning to do in the future? Your big dreams. What do you think about having your own TV show one day? Man, having a TV show one day. Imagine that. That would be kind of that'd be interesting. I don't know. I think I'd give it a shot. I mean, anything's possible. Who knows? Yeah, I'd try it. As for the future, I'd like to get into real estate. I'd like to own some major properties on the water. Big dreams are owning some multi-billion-dollar companies, you know, that I've got in the works, working on paper right now. It doesn't mean nothing until you follow through, right? It's just an idea, which a bunch of guys have. So yeah, that's the goal is to be a billionaire. You know, that's the only way I'm gonna ever own a 500-foot yacht. But we'll see. Hopefully that comes to fruition, and with a little perseverance and faith, hard work, I'll get there. So thanks for the support. Appreciate it. And thanks for the question. So the next question comes from Aptam. I'd love to see the video on top best yachts around €1 million. Types of not super expensive, but comfortable and good looking ones. Looks is all based on your taste. What's good looking to you may not be good looking to me. So that is based on personal opinion. As for €1 million yacht, it goes from being a used yacht, a bigger used yacht, to an older used bigger yacht, to a brand new small $1 million boat, day boat. You know, so that's a very what do you say? That's a very vague question. You know, you want to see something in the $1 million that are comfortable, not super expensive. I would just Google $1 million yacht, and you'll see all the options you get. There are a lot of yachts out there in that price range, and you'll get cats, sailing cats. You'll get monohull motor yachts. You'll get monohull sailing boats. You'll get day boats, brand new, right? So you're gonna get a lot for $1 million, and maybe you might not get so much, depending on what it is you're looking for. And again, looks is totally based on what you think is a good looking boat, you know. So good luck. I hope you find what you're looking for. And we're gonna move on to Adam Deneyes. My question is, I really want a big yacht, but I want an electric yacht. Is it existing? And if it is, where can I buy it? I know massive electric yachts do not exist, but there are a lot of companies that are doing the where you can get diesel electric, right? Arcadia Yachts does a really cool thing with solar panels. The whole roof of the yacht is solar panels, and they're using that to help supply some of the power to the boat. Other companies are doing diesel electric engines where they run the boat, and while the boat is running, it's charging batteries, and then the batteries will take over once they're docked, and that'll run some of the basic, you know, lights and stuff like that to help keep the cost of the fuel down. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Is there a fully electric yacht out there? I don't think so. Not one for sale. I think I can say that with certainty. There's a couple of tenders out there that you can get that are fully electric, but not not yachts. Yeah, none that I know of. If you do know of one and I'm wrong, put it in the comments. I'd love to talk about it and do a tour. So definitely let me know. Okay, so N.E. had a really long question, and it's about buying a yacht. What should he buy? The complexities, engine, yada, yada, yada. I suggest you find yourself a broker, because these are all broker questions. A lot of these things you're going to want to ask by experiencing a yacht. You know, you're going to consider, what should you consider before choosing the engines. You're only going to know this by going to see and visit the boat. So find yourself a broker in your area, and they should be able to help you out, get you on board the boats, look around, and get a feel for what it is you like. So thank you for your question, Annie. I hope that was helpful. I could give you an answer that's very vague, but that wouldn't help you at all. Your best bet is to find a really knowledgeable broker in your area that can walk you through what you want, you know, talking to him, and get you on board the boats that he or she thinks would work for you based on your questions. So good luck. Send us a picture on Instagram. We'd love to see it. Next question. I'm Lynx. How do you get access to all these yachts? What's the secret? There's no secret. The only thing I can tell you is this isn't an overnight thing. The Yacht Guy didn't start yesterday. It's been 10 years since I've been doing this. I've built a lot of amazing relationships with people, and been just fortunate to be able to get on the yachts and go to the places that I've been able to go to. So there's no secret. It's just hard work and putting in, and I guess having a good being personable. That might help. I mean, I've been told I was very personable, so that might be a big key factor. Respect people. You got to respect people's property. Don't be pushy. If someone wants you somewhere, they'll ask you to be there. I know some guys are like, oh, if you don't ask, you never know. You're right. If you don't ask, you don't know. But you can have a sense of if someone wants you somewhere or not. So I try not to ask. A lot of times I'm invited. A lot of times I do ask, but there's a double win. There's a win for them and there's a win for me. This way, why would I want to give you something? There's no benefit to me. So you've got to, if you're going to ask, and this goes with anything in life, if you're going to ask for something, make sure the person you're asking has a win. There's a win for them. 90% of the time that I do stuff, the win is more for the person that I'm doing it for than it is for me. So there's that. Moving on to the next question. Beefsteak. Hi, Alex. I have a question. What is the best yacht you've ever seen? Not necessarily filmed, but seen, and why? Best yacht I've ever seen. Again, it goes back to, oh man, there's so many beautiful boats out there. It's just hard to choose just one. I really, 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 really love, boy, I don't know. It's not just one. It's just so many. Like I said, Azam, really cool boat, right? It's so long, sleek, fast. Luna, that thing's crazy. Have you seen Luna? If you haven't seen Luna, check that thing out. So final questions. Before we get to them, thanks everybody for asking the questions. We would like to do this more often. I think this was really fun. I enjoyed it. I'd like to do it from on board a yacht next time once this whole thing is over. So I think it'd be a little more interesting with a better background than my bedroom. But that being said, let's get to the final 3 questions I think we have here. Maybe 4. Chandler Bing Bong. Good evening, Chandler. How tall are you? I am 6'3". Trump or Biden? Politics. We're talking yachts here, baby. You don't talk politics on the Yacht Guy. What's the fastest you've ever traveled on 2 or 4 wheels? I would tell you, but then I'd be incriminating myself and I could get locked up. Somebody could hold this as evidence against me. So let's just say, hypothetically, if I ever was in Cannes one time, and hypothetically some guy told me, hey, you want to test drive a Lamborghini? And the guy asking me was a race car driver. I would say yes. And he would probably say something along the lines like, I don't know, keep up. And I would definitely try, even if it was 140 miles an hour. But that's hypothetical. I would never do that. I don't suggest anybody else does that. That's not very safe. And yeah, it would be a great story, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks for the question. Denison Yachting. You guys have a question for me? Here it is. What's your favorite boat show? Wow, that's tough. The boat shows here in the States are great. Flibs, Miami show, so much fun. So many people that I know. Taylor and I just did the Miami show together. And we stayed on board a Denison yacht, one of your yachts. And it was such a great time. I can't tell you how much fun I had. It makes it easy because you're kind of home, So anything I need, it's in dollars. I've got family in Florida, so it makes it a little easier. So I love that show for that reason. And the show itself is a fun show. Favorite show? Man, I'm sorry, but I have to say, and I'm not sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. The Monaco Yacht Show. And the reason being is all of the best are always shown at that show. If a company is going to pull out the big guns, they're going to do it there first. And then they'll show it at other shows. But the Monaco Yacht Show, that's the show to go to. So if you're a yacht fan and you haven't been to any yacht show, go to the Monaco Yacht Show. Now, with that said, it is not cheap. Getting into the Monaco Yacht Show is expensive, and you are not guaranteed to get on yachts. You can walk around, but you're not going to get guaranteed to. It's not like Florida where you can, hey, I'd like to look at this boat, and they'll let you on for the most part. Monaco's not like that. These are 300 foot, 200 foot. These are the big boys, and even the small ones are brand new, and they're only letting serious buyers or potential clients on board. Brokers, people who are in the industry, they're the ones that are going to get on board. But the good thing is you don't have to be in the show to actually enjoy the show, because Monaco, the marina is down low, and you can walk around Monaco and actually see all the yachts from outside. You actually get a better view from up top on the hill and from near the palace. So there's a bunch of places you can actually see the show without actually being in the show. So if you're going to Monaco, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. It's beautiful. I love it there personally, especially during yacht season or whenever there's a big event going on. So with that said, thank you everybody for the support. The YouTube channel has taken off way more than we thought it would in such a short amount of time. I'm looking at the page right now, and we are at 55,400. Let me refresh this. 55,400 subscribers. So how cool is that? We're excited. We hope to be able to bring you more YouTube videos once this mess is all over. So please stay tuned. Keep liking, keep subscribing. People, if you haven't subscribed, and keep commenting. Like it or don't like it, it's okay. The only way we're going to do better is if you guys tell us what it is you want to see and what we're doing, what you think we're doing wrong. Really quick before I go, someone mentioned do the crew quarters. And again, I'll mention, we would love to do the crew quarters. We would. The reason we don't do them is when we're on these boats, the crew is actually in the using the boat, so we don't want to impose on their rooms. Now, if we get a yacht that's brand new, that's not being used at all, we can show you a crew quarter. But until then, the yachts that we're using, there is a crew on board. They're doing their thing, and we want to respect their privacy. So with that said, I'm out of here. Thank you so much, Taylor. Thanks for the video. You're doing an awesome job as always, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay home.